Christopher Nolan. Tenet, then Oppenheimer. Tenet is a high-concept espionage thriller built around time inversion, praised for ambition, but criticized for complexity and muted emotional engagement, while pandemic conditions hurt box office. Nolan rebounded with Oppenheimer, a gripping historical drama about the atomic bomb's creation, combining scale, performances, and storytelling into massive global success. James Cameron. The Abyss. Then Terminator 2. Judgment Day. The Abyss impressed with groundbreaking underwater effects, but struggled financially due to production challenges and limited mainstream appeal. Cameron followed with Terminator 2, a landmark action sequel that revolutionized CGI, delivered emotional depth, and became one of the highest-grossing and most influential films ever made. Steven Spielberg. 1941, then Raiders of the Lost Ark. 1941 attempted large-scale comedy but was criticized for excess, lack of focus, and weak humor, becoming a rare misstep for Spielberg. He quickly recovered with Raiders of the Lost Ark, an expertly paced adventure introducing Indiana Jones, blending action, charm, and nostalgia into a hugely successful franchise starter. Ridley Scott. Legend to Gladiator. Legend offered striking visuals and fantasy elements, but failed commercially due to narrative weaknesses and mixed reception. Years later, Scott returned triumphantly with Gladiator, a sweeping historical epic driven by Russell Crowe's performance, revitalizing the genre and winning multiple Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Peter Jackson. The Frighteners. Then, The Lord of the Rings. The Fellowship of the Ring. The Frighteners blended horror and comedy with innovative effects, but underperformed financially, limiting Jackson's mainstream recognition. He then directed The Fellowship of the Ring, launching an ambitious trilogy that combined storytelling, world-building, and technical mastery into a cultural phenomenon, an enormous box office success. George Miller. Happy Feet. 2. Then Mad Max. Fury Road. Happy Feet 2 failed to replicate the original's charm and struggled commercially despite its animation quality. Miller's return to the Mad Max franchise with Fury Road delivered relentless action, practical effects, and bold visual storytelling, earning critical acclaim and strong box office, while redefining modern action cinema. Guy Ritchie. Swept Away to Sherlock Holmes. Swept Away was widely criticized for its performances and tone, becoming a notorious box office failure. Ritchie reinvented his style with Sherlock Holmes, presenting a dynamic, action-oriented take on the classic detective, powered by Robert Downey Jr.'s performance and achieving major commercial success. Matthew Vaughn. Layer Cake. Then X-Men. First Class. Layer Cake earned critical praise, but modest financial returns, limiting its immediate impact. Vaughn later revitalized the X-Men franchise with First Class, blending character-driven storytelling with stylish direction, strong performances, and fresh energy, restoring audience interest and achieving significant box office success. Jon Favreau. Cowboys and Aliens. Then The Jungle Book. Cowboys and Aliens combined genres awkwardly and failed to meet expectations despite a strong cast. Favreau rebounded with The Jungle Book, a visually stunning live-action adaptation using cutting-edge CGI and motion capture, earning widespread acclaim and major box office success. Taika Waititi. Next goal wins. Then Thor. Ragnarok. Next goal wins struggled with mixed reviews and limited commercial impact, lacking the originality of Waititi's earlier work. In contrast, Thor Ragnarok transformed the Marvel character with humor, vibrant visuals, and irreverent tone, becoming a fan favorite and major box office success. Night Shyamalan. The Last Airbender, then Split. The Last Airbender was heavily criticized for poor writing, performances, and deviation from its source material, becoming a major commercial and critical disappointment. Shyamalan rebounded with Split, a tense psychological thriller featuring James McAvoy's acclaimed performance, restoring his reputation and achieving strong box office success. Mel Gibson. Apocalypto, then Hacksaw Ridge. Apocalypto faced controversy and limited mainstream appeal despite technical achievements, restricting its commercial reach. Gibson returned a decade later with Hacksaw Ridge, a powerful World War II drama praised for emotional intensity and direction, earning multiple Academy Award nominations and strong global box office performance. Bryan Singer. Jack the Giant Slayer. Then X-Men. Days of Future Past. Jack the Giant Slayer suffered from tonal inconsistency and underwhelming audience response, leading to box office disappointment. Singer quickly recovered with Days of Future Past, an ambitious superhero crossover that combined timelines, revitalized the franchise, and delivered both critical praise and major commercial success. James Gunn. Slither, then Guardians of the Galaxy. Slither gained a cult following but failed commercially upon release, limiting Gunn's early career momentum. He later directed Guardians of the Galaxy, transforming an obscure comic property into a vibrant, humorous blockbuster, praised for its characters, soundtrack, and originality, becoming a major Marvel success. Zack Snyder. Sucker Punch, then Man of Steel. Sucker Punch was criticized for its narrative and tone, despite striking visuals, underperforming at the box office. Snyder rebounded with Man of Steel, a darker, modern Superman reboot that achieved strong global earnings and launched a new cinematic universe for DC. David Fincher. Alien 3, then Seven. Alien 3 faced production troubles and mixed reception, often viewed as a disappointing entry in the franchise. Fincher rebounded with C7N, a dark, meticulously crafted thriller that gained critical acclaim, strong box office success, and established his reputation as a leading filmmaker. Ron Howard. The Missing, then The Da Vinci Code. The Missing received mixed reviews and modest box office returns, failing to leave a lasting impact. Howard bounced back with The Da Vinci Code, an adaptation of a best-selling novel that, despite mixed critical reception, became a major global commercial success. Baz Luhrmann. Australia, then The Great Gatsby. Australia struggled with tone and length, leading to mixed reception and underwhelming performance relative to expectations. Luhrmann returned with The Great Gatsby, a visually extravagant adaptation that polarized critics but achieved strong box office results, and resonated with global audiences. Robert Rodriguez. The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, then Sin City. Shark Boy and Lava Girl was criticized for its effects and storytelling, disappointing audiences and critics. In the same year, Rodriguez delivered Sin City, a stylistically bold adaptation of Frank Miller's graphic novel, praised for its visual innovation and becoming both a critical and commercial success.